Let's go, Alabama fans. I'm sorry I'm a little delayed on the Ty Simpson film study for this week. There was something that happened at the school that I love. I would prefer to not talk about it. Actually, I will talk about it at the end of this video, but we start off here with the Ty Simpson sack. Third and Birmingham. That's too obvious. Someone give me a real small town in Alabama, okay? This is a very interesting play. You're running all verticals here to the left side, and you're actually running just a simple comeback to the short side, and that is where Ty Simpson elects to go, and you're hoping right here. God, why is Four's name slipping my mind? Speaking of slipping, this guy is slipping all over the place because it's a big play. Looking like Brian Robinson in number Quattro right here. Or how about TJ Yeldon, who broke my heart too many times. Definitely one of Ty's better plays in this game. So you can see that the big three Alabama receivers are all running routes to the right side. And you can see that South Carolina has this pretty much covered just by looking at a numbers count. They have 5 guys to account for these 3. So you take a look at where the open space is, it's all the way over here. So Ty Simpson, it's just simple logic. There's probably not going to be anything open to this side of the field. So Ty's like, okay, let's go scramble drill. Should you just work this check down right here to Cuevas? You can make a case. Should you work this to Hall in the flat? That's covered. So Simpson waits on the scramble drill for Ryan Williams to run into that space, and he eventually gets it there. And, of course, a little ballerina toe tap. Boom and boom right there. Good stuff. Now, I would say turn this upfield, bro. You have a chance to gather yourself, and he just kind of tiptoes out of bounds. 1st and 10, and you have a long, heavy play action fake, and guess what happens? South Carolina has a really good call for it. A corner blitz. So Proctor sees it, but he can't really pick it up because 4 cuts Proctor off, and because this is such a deep drop, the corner is able to take a really wide angle towards the quarterback, and he's able to make the sack. You would like the protection to be better, but still, you have a chance to pick up the football, and you can't do it, and South Carolina gets a big play. You have a corner blitz once again happening here, and Jam Miller, who is probably Bama's best pass protector, is able to pick it up. You get really good protection. This is a really intricate way to run this route right here by Ryan Williams. Look at this. So he looks this way to give the idea that he is potentially running it out, but he's actually running a deep dig. The protection is really good. The throw by Ty Simpson is not, right? Ball location can be a problem. Now, could Ryan Williams have kept his feet here? Maybe so, but still, you would like to get this ball completed to where he can run after the catch, and then things could get really spicy. And this is where you start really seeing the playmaking ability of Ty Simpson, right? If you take a look at the entire SEC, when it comes to rushing, Ty Simpson is probably a bottom 4 SEC rusher, but he is mobile, right? It's just all the conference quarterbacks are mobile this year, including the one on the opposite sideline. Look at this sack avoidance right here. Really good stuff. Good finish right there by 72. I think that's Parker Brailsford. And now you have Ty Simpson rolling out and finding 4 right here on the scramble drill. I'll get his name. Daniel Hill. Man, that's a great name. Daniel Hill. Look at that. He's able to pick up a nice gain after the catch. Okay. Daniel's still on his feet. What's the meme? Damn, Daniel. So 4th and goal, Alabama elects to go for it. It just depends on the offense, right? It's close for me whether or not it's the right decision to be aggressive. I do think since it is the end of the half, I would say if there were, let's say, less than 30 seconds, if this clock was at 48 or 38 or whatever, I'm probably kicking the field goal. But considering that that's enough time for South Carolina to drive down and to get into field goal range themselves, those field goals will kind of sort of cancel each other out. I'm fine with going for it, especially when Ty Simpson has been so freaking money in the red zone. Okay, so what exactly happened? So you have Geramie Benard in motion, and South Carolina just has everything covered. Ryan Williams takes up 2 defenders. Ty Simpson starts off looking to the left. Nothing is there, so he works back to the right. This pocket was absolutely amazing, especially in a 5-man pass pro. And Ty Simpson sees the window right here. Look at that throw. Look at that catch. Boom. Okay? And the good news is the sign of a good offensive play is, well, the sign of a good quarterback in an offensive play is that you start off looking left, and then to the backside, you have multiple open opportunities to the right. Okay? And you'll see that after the chip, because his protection is so good, this is there, and then this is also there to Daniel Hill. That's normally a good sign of a good offense. And 4th and 1, what the heck is this from Ty Simpson? Are you kidding me? What a good piece of QB running. And, we said a minute ago that he's not an elite runner. Well, that's true, but at the same time, this is ridiculous. He is one of the bigger quarterbacks in the SEC. To keep his feet and then fall forward here is ridiculous. So Alabama elected to not call their timeout after that. I think that's stupid. It's either you do that or you go up there and spike it. But instead, they decide to take a longer developing big shot down the field. All right, this lets me know that Alabama values touchdowns so much more than field goals because, man, that never makes sense to do something like this. You get really good coverage. If you're Geramie Benard in this spot, I understand it's difficult because you're still running to go try and make this catch. We always want to jump with 2 arms, right? Are you ever making that catch with 1 arm? No. And then you can also see here that Benard jumps way too early for this ball. Okay, the ball tracking here could have been better. If he's still running, he is in a way better spot, boots on the ground, to actually make this grab. 3rd quarter, you have another heavy play action fake. You're showing outside zone here to the right. And honestly, this gets distributed pretty well by South Carolina here to the backside. Normally when you have a play action fake that's this long, you're hoping to get at least one of these other guys into this fit. They were ready for it. This South Carolina defense was coached really well. Now, should this ball right here still be thrown to Cuevas? Sure. But Ty Simpson says, look, that's not really going for a whole lot. Let's see if I can get a little feisty with my legs. And that's exactly what he decides to do. Ty Simpson heard me earlier in this film study saying he's a bottom 5 or so rusher in the SEC. That's not a shot at Ty Simpson. It's just there's some thoroughbreds at the quarterback position this year, and that's just a nasty run right there. If you're Alabama, this play call should excite you. Okay, so it's 2nd and 1. Analytically, on 2nd and 1, you want to take deep shots, right? Because you have 2 more downs to pick it up, and they're thinking that you're going to run with heavier personnel into the game right here. Actually, I say heavier personnel. They're still in 11 here. The problem is that there's safeties back deep here. Okay, so it wasn't the best look versus this, but I do like the idea of taking deep shots on 2nd and 1. The problem here is that it wasn't there. Okay, so if you just take a check down here on the leaker, you're picking up a lot of yards. He decides to take it anyway. If it gets intercepted, it's just an arm punt. But, he probably should never throw that. And South Carolina, man, they dropped a few INTs in this game. So Alabama, 4th and 1. They decide to take a shot again, which I like. All right, so it's open. Ryan Williams running this deep over. What's interesting, when you look at a couple of the other snaps with Ryan in this game, he really struggles with physicality, right? He is easy to knock off the football. Okay, so you can see he takes a pretty physical jam, and it slows him down some. Not really a whole lot, now that I look at it again. So Caden Proctor gets beat really badly. Simpson is still able, look at this arm strength, to still be able to get this football off. Look at this. Boom. Okay, his elbow is getting Carson Beck here, and he's still able to get that football off. Ryan's just got to catch this, okay? He loses his footing, and, you got to catch his boots on the ground. This shouldn't be, getting caught and then ran. That's a huge drop. Huge drop. This is what Mac Jones used to work with at Alabama. That's how much the supporting cast for Ty Simpson dominated this play. We start off with the protection. Holy crap. Twist stunt. No problem. Dylan Stewart pulling around. Caden Proctor picks it up. Guard has him in a phone booth. Then to the left side, Proctor, who got beat on the last play, gets a chip with 46 on the fourth down. That's a really, really, really good adjustment. You also had a chip on Stewart here if you needed it. That's perfect, okay? And even with those chips, look at this. This pocket is deeper than that of Jeff Bezos. That is something pretty ridiculous, all right? Then you get to the actual concepts. After these chips, you could see that the leaking running back and the tight end draws these zone defenders up to guard them. Okay, look at that. Perfect. So you have the secondary portion of this play figured out. Now we get to the vertical portion of it. You're running a variation of, what would this be? Would this be Mills? Or it's kind of a dagger-ish, or you have a vertical and a dig being run behind it. But dagger is normally a same side vertical with the dig behind it. The truth, though, is, holy crap, it could not have been more open for Geramie Benard over the deep middle. And other receivers right now, I want the ball in Geramie Benard's hands after the touch more than anyone. And what happens? The biggest misfire, arguably, of Ty Simpson's career. Benard is still running, by the way. Now, why did Ty Simpson miss this so badly? Well, pocket's good. He was unsure of himself. Okay? Steps up, good wide base, get a ball pat. Ball should be out by now. Ball should be out by now. Then he finally tries to throw it, and it's just a blatant misfire. And you could see just with the follow-through, it looks like he was trying too much to guide it. And he misses it. Ugh. 3rd and 7, big time from Ty Simpson, but even bigger time from Geramie Benard. Has leverage on 31 to the top of your screen. The protection does step up. Man, look at this decision by Ty. Look at how high Dylan Stewart gets up into the air to potentially block that. Holy crap, that he's going to be a first-round pick. So Simpson waits and gets this ball to Geramie. Look at that. Boom. Good throw, good catch. 3rd and 4, Alabama's able to move the chains on the pivot route right here by Cuevas. And once again, the protection was really good from Alabama for portions of this game, right? It was good there. Alabama does this basically better than anyone, all right? Play action with the run action with the guard pulling around. And, well, they're thinking potentially that this is going to be a run. And then you can play the vertical game, right? There's a lot of times where this guy blocking will take off if you fire down to get into this fit. So guess what? Ty just throws it right back to Jam Miller, the running back, and you're able to pick up an easy first down here down the left sideline. And the blocking here by Alabama's receivers are really, really, really good. Okay, good stuff. So we get to here. Man, I just don't know how many more times Alabama's going to get away with this play of just throwing to the running back out of the backfield. Okay, I don't know why it's so hard to account for it, especially if it's a receiver back there. Do you really think they're handing this football off to Benard? I don't know. But to just give Ty Simpson that is going to keep South Carolina fans up at night. And the 4th quarter drive ends up being money. All righty. What a 2-point conversion play from Ryan Grubb. Okay, so you hand off to Ty Simpson, and then you fake the reverse to Ryan Williams, and then you're actually throwing the football to the leaking tight end into the flat. Beautiful stuff, and that is just so difficult to guard. It's a good throw by Simpson, and Cuevas continues his big game. All right, so to the bottom of the screen after the Sellers fumble, you get one of the more common route concepts in all of football, which is stick. Okay, you have a deep corner, you have a stop, and then you have a running back into the flats. Okay, a little curl flat combination. Kurt Warner's favorite play, by the way. And then you have this guy right here running into the flat. So you're reading this guy. If he doesn't run into the flat, you throw it to Jam Miller. If he runs into the flat, you work it to 11. It's a good job by Ty Simpson. Look at his eyes. Okay, he's looking at the flat defender. He looks at Jam Miller in the flat and then works back to 11. Really, really, really good stuff. You know, the only thing about this is if this backer really fires into this, this is a bang bang play. So this could be located a little bit better. I would prefer it to be over here away from this defender, but that's honestly asking a good bit. He gets it in there, and it's a first down. So we get to the Geramie Benard final touchdown. I never actually listened to the South Carolina defender here if he really intended to let him score. I think he did. I just don't know if he was coached to do that or if that was just one of the more heads-up play by that fine gentleman. So Benard scores, game over. Was this a bad Ty Simpson game? Compared to his standards that he has set over the past couple of weeks, sure. Now, what's funny about this is, as an LSU supporter, I was accused in my last video for just showing too many positive Ty Simpson plays, which is wild to me, and I know I've already addressed this, so I'm going to do something special. Boom! Floating in your face. This is a good way to support me here at Power Hour SEC. I break down some of Ty's really bad misfires, even though we did some in this video. So let me know what you guys think down below. I still think he's going to win the Heisman. It is Power Hour SEC. Boom! And tonight, we are doing chicken.